Hi, I'm yourhuckfriend,
Not my actual name.
and this is how I make my covers. So first I pick a song, and I literally have hundreds saved on Ultimate Guitar, more like Ultimate Piano. Yeah, quick note, I can't really read music, so for every song I'm just looking at the chords and improvising around them. So I've picked a ripper of a song, Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time. I downloaded the song from YouTube, though in this case I went to a lot of extra effort because the version I liked was Lennon Stella's Spotify single, so it wasn't actually on YouTube, so I had to screen record it instead. I opened Logic and set up a piano. I set the tempo of the project to adapt, find the song in my files and drop it onto the second bar. Logic then works out the tempo, and then you just need to check it. Okay, sounds good. And set the tempo back to keep. Trust me, do not skip that step. I'm usually playing to the song until I get to the vocals, at which point I'm playing to myself. And that's usually when I know whether it's actually any good. So I grab my camera and set it up on a tripod. This isn't the camera I use, but how am I supposed to film a camera with my camera? Once that's set up and I've hit record, I leave it alone. If I knock it, then I've ruined the video. You'll see why when it comes to editing. I grab my other stuff from the big box in my cupboard. Make sure to rattle the tambourine as much as possible while taking out everything but the tambourine. All my homies hate the tambourine. We're bringing that little red box and my laptop all around the room to get ready to maneuver it all as one awkward mess. Now I get in position
Hi.
and perform, baby. Okay, not on the first take.
I mean, for a first take.
Or the second take. Third one's terrible. I usually, by the 10th or 11th, get to a point where I question whether I'm actually any good at music. Maybe I should give up. When a take is quite good, it's usually a good time to stop. Then I record the cajon. I always go around the room in the same order, from piano to vocals. And it's usually quite fun to throw a look at one of the other positions around the room and pretend I'm actually there. Then if two of me are looking at each other at the same time, then that's just luck, and they should also kiss. What? The other thing I always have to watch out for is how much space I'm taking up. If I throw an arm wildly across the frame, then it will disappear. Then, if any parts don't fit in the frame, or if I, for whatever reason, don't want them in the frame because they don't do a lot and I don't want to just sit there forever waiting for my turn, then I'll record them separately. Everything's recorded, so let's start editing. I try to keep all effects as subtle as possible. The main goal is to give everything enough space to be heard.
The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me.
So on the vocals, it's just an EQ, a light compressor, a slight de-esser, and a delay turned almost all the way down. These are pretty much exactly the same across all the backing vocals as well.
The second hand
Then with the piano, it's very little added. An EQ and compressor. The EQ is just trying to avoid drowning out the main vocals as it tends to do. I used brushes for the cajon on this one, so on the EQ I want to make sure the higher frequencies stand out. There's already a reverb on the piano on its preset, and I added a small reverb onto the cajon so it's not quite so dry. When I'm happy with everything, I turn to a quick bit of mastering. I don't know what mastering means.
you said.
We mostly want it to be a similar volume to my other covers, and I want it to be below -12 decibels. So I've got a meter to monitor that, and the maximizer in Ozone is what's going to achieve it.
Catch you, I'll be waiting.
Once I'm close, I add dynamics for a bit of consistency across the song. Then an imager to play with the wideness or narrowness, depending on what I want. Then a very, very subtle EQ turned way down to 30%. Then Ozone's clever stabilizer module. I've set it to a subtle scoop to bring out the vocal in the mix. Of course, different songs require different amounts of energy, but I usually play around with the presets until I get what I want. I don't tend to spend too long on this, about 15 minutes. That's the music done, so let's edit the video. So I start with what's in the background, which is the piano. I'm using Final Cut to edit, but I originally used Adobe Premiere when I was on the student plan. It wasn't so expensive. Then I went to DaVinci Resolve for a brief time and then went to Final Cut. So you can do this with all of them, they're just a little different. There is a tool in Final Cut which synchronizes video to audio, but it's not nearly as fun as dragging it around yourself. I line the video up with the waveform of the audio, then tweak it slightly until it looks right. It's hard to tell with the piano, but using the backing vocals as a guide makes it easier.
Time after time.
Then I do the same for the cajon and vocals. Feathering it, which basically blends it with the video behind it, which is the piano. You can see here with the vocals there's a part where I bend down because I'm dumb, so I've had to tweak it slightly and had to get rid of that disgusting looking green drink on the desk. Add in the extra video of the backing vocal. I edit the colour on the video as a whole using an adjustment layer, which you have to make yourself in Final Cut. I don't know why they haven't added adjustment layers. Then you just need to slap on a title at the beginning, and do make sure to cycle through every single font until time doesn't look like a real word anymore, and then we're done. We're out of here, let's go home. Oh, we're already home. This was literally all in my bedroom. Okay, let's go to bed then. I don't know, I'm not really tired. Thanks for watching, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you follow all these steps, then maybe you too can have 37 views 3 years from now. I'm joking, that screenshot has been doctored, I'm actually extremely successful.